Wonder Woman is going to be making her first appearance in the DC Extended Universe later this year in Superman vs. Batman: Dawn of Justice, and will eventually get her own movie, which is currently being filmed. But she already had one animated direct-to-video outing in 2009, simply titled Wonder Woman. I had heard a few things about it, mostly good, but I didn't get to see it until I did so for this review. The animation style remains consistent with most of the DC animated films and is of a high quality, and the characters are drawn in a way to strongly resemble their comic book counterparts while also being unique enough for the animated versions to have their own identity. The film starts in the past with Wonder Woman's mother, Hippolyta, battling the forces of Ares along with the rest of the Amazons. We learn that in the past, Hippolyta and Ares had been lovers and had a son, whom Hippolyta kills in battle, which actually seems to genuinely upset Ares. It's interesting in this case, as the movie does play around a bit with gender roles, or at least societal ones, as the mother, Hippolyta, strikes down her son without an ounce of restraint or regret, while Ares seems to actually care. It's interesting. Anyway, Hippolyta bests Ares, but is stopped from killing him by the intervention of Zeus and Hera, who place magical bands on his arms that will rob him of his godly powers and make him a prisoner of the Amazons. Having destroyed her only child, Hippolyta creates a new one, Diana. Flash forward, and the Amazons are at peace. Ares is safely tucked away, and Diana is showing herself to be the best among them. But an Air Force pilot named Steve Trevor crash lands on Themyscira, giving them their first contact with the outside world, which they refer to as Man's World. Trevor is questioned, and then the Amazons hold a contest to see who will escort him back, which Diana wins. And she's given the Wonder Woman outfit as a mixture of traditional Amazon garb and the colors of the flag that Trevor represents as a message of peace. Diana's ideals clash strongly with the patriarchal views of modern society, but she is swayed to see Man's World as not being all bad, just needing some teachings. Ultimately, Ares gets released and convinces his uncle Hades to release his bands. He starts a new war which feeds his power, and Diana has to lead the Amazons in a new battle against him. The movie is full of the prerequisite action, which is fine. When it comes to animated films, the action kinda seems less thrilling due to the fact that there aren't real people involved. But I give credit to Wonder Woman for crafting well-animated, fluid fight scenes, and a sense of urgency that you don't usually see in animated films. In the first scene, Hippolyta brutally decapitates her own son, so the stakes are higher than you might expect in what is usually a more family-friendly medium. That being said, where Wonder Woman really shines is the dialogue, which is fantastic. The movie isn't a feminist manifesto by any means. Diana's frustrations have a real basis, but she sometimes overreacts and is shown to judge all of mankind by a small sample size. The ending message is that the world of man has a lot to learn from Wonder Woman, but she also has a lot to learn from the world of man. Another thing that I like was the focus on some of the other Amazons, such as Artemis, Persephone, and Alexa, and the breezy humor that is found throughout the film really gives levity to what is otherwise a rather serious story. There are actually a few laugh-out-loud moments. One that I want to point out in particular was Diana's reaction to Etta Candy, who plays the weak feminine role to try and seduce Steve Trevor, and Diana is just like, "Bitch, what is wrong with you?" and impresses him instead with her strength. Though I will point out that he was smitten with her pretty much instantly, something else that led to many other humorous moments. Overall, Wonder Woman is a great animated film that probably could have been released theatrically, but films like this one really shut down the old idea that direct-to-video means crap. It was highly enjoyable, reasonably exciting, funny, and thoughtful, and for those traits, I will give it a 9 out of 10.